Hi guys, 52 degrees north here. Just give you a quick update, a very quick update on my bananas. These two in this pot are the Super Dwarf Cavendish, the least cold hardy of all the bananas that I have. However, they are the smallest, so in theory they should be the easiest to protect. These are doing all right. They don't grow very quickly, but they are pushing growth now. There's quite a lot of pups at the bottom. This one on this side is slightly bigger than that side. You can see all the leaves, or most of the leaves, are heavily affected by the sun scorch. Unfortunately, I had no other option but to leave them in the semi-shade, and yet they still got sun scorched. And I'll probably tell you a little theory behind why I think they've all been sun scorched, because I did try and adapt them to the sunlight before coming up here, but I'll fill you in on my theory in a second. This next one is called the Mysore banana, pushing growth, and the new growth has got sun scorch on it as well. This is all sun scorch here, but they're pretty hardy bananas. You know, even if they get affected like that, they should just keep on pushing growth. And these are potting and feeding for us to get some explosive growth out of it. Closely related to the Mysore is the Dwarf Namois. This one is obviously a dwarf variety, so it's not going to be as rapid growing as its cousin, but it still needs up potting for us to get any real explosive growth out of it. It was advantageous to keep them in smaller pots over the winter, so I could keep them a bit on the drier side, but now the warmer months have come. They need up potting and more liquid and more feed. The next one I'm very happy to announce is alive and well, is the Rajapuri. This is the one I was most excited to get hold of, and I'm glad to see that it's growing nicely. I mean, if you have a look at the corm, I mean, the corm is nearly the size of the pot. So this one definitely needs up potting. We haven't had any true leaves out of this one yet, but those are all of the edible bananas that I have. And my theory is that they've been sun scorched because they were outside at sea level, and then they've been taken up 800 feet up into the hills, so the sun is probably more UV up here, more exposure, and that's caused the bananas to be fried. The only one other banana that I have is this one, the Musa Helens hybrid. Its stem was probably above where that leaf was, but over the winter I've had to cut it, and then the last cut I made was because even though it started growing in the winter, end of the winter, it rotted out by mid spring, so I had to cut it back again for it just to push out some new growth now once again, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. I think what happened was it got wet and cold, and that combination, even though it started growing, was enough for it to start rotting. And luckily it survived, and we've managed to keep about 3 foot, maybe a meter of the pseudo stem on the original banana, so I'm glad that that's happened. Considering the winter that we had, I mean, I didn't give it any protection other than being in an unheated greenhouse, so considering the winter that we had, it's done well. It's got one puck down there, and there's some although this isn't part of the update, it's got some elephants here, taro there, and they've started growing once again. They got munched by all sorts of things, and they've been killed by the cold, because they're more cold sensitive than this banana, believe it or not. But that's the update on my bananas, guys. I hope everyone has a blessed day. Bye.